This is Steve Adubato. Obviously, we're not coming to you from our typical studio at NJTV or East Main Media or any one of the places we produce. We're taping this on the 8th of April. It'll be seen after that. We're looking at the long-term implications, the ramifications of the coronavirus. We ask you to check out our colleagues at NJTV News, also at Metro Focus, a nightly program, and other sources that can provide up-to-date, day-to-day information. But we're looking at longer-term issues, and we're honored to be joined by our good friend Tim Sullivan, who is the CEO of New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Steve. It's great to be virtually with you. I wish we could be together, but hopefully sometime soon.
So it's so interesting. We actually, one of the last meetings we had was with Tim, and his team, and we missed those face-to-face meetings, and we'll be back hopefully doing that soon. But I want to ask you this. For those who do not know what the role of the Economic Development Authority is, please share, Tim.
Well, in normal times and in a crisis, we're part of the effort under the governor's leadership to stimulate job growth, support small business, which is more important now than ever in this crisis, as well as trying to attract and retain new businesses to New Jersey and help grow the innovation economy as well.
Yeah, really, the State of Innovation, or the initiative the governor started, is that the right name of it, by the way?
State of Innovation, absolutely, yep.
Are we still the state of innovation? Will we be the state of innovation in May, June, July moving forward?
Yeah, we're going to have to be. I think innovation, becomes even more important. One of the ways we're going to solve this crisis, not just here in New Jersey, but around the country and around the world, is going to be innovation. The race to develop a vaccine is all about innovation. The race to develop a cure or a therapy, all about innovation. The race to develop ways to help teach kids better from a distance, or to help us have these kinds of conversations virtually so we can be spread out when we need to be through this crisis, all about innovation. And the good news, we've already seen the beginnings of the nimbleness of the New Jersey economy. This conversation you and I are having is a great example. You and your team are spread out, me and my team are spread out, and we're all making the best of it and developing new ways of working, and that's all about innovation too.
It's interesting that Tim Sullivan mentions this initiative because, again, not only are we doing this and innovating to do it on Zoom, but also our colleagues at NJTV, they actually have an instructional initiative. We ask you to go on their website and check it out for, I believe, help me on this. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. It may be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. But the whole point is they're innovating. They have teachers teaching every day remotely because the need exists. But my question is also this, Tim, as we talk about the future, what industries in your view will be are continually affected and will be affected by this virus? And where is there, I hate using the term opportunity, but I will, where is there opportunity?
Yeah, I think, everyone's in the soup together right now while we're under the stay-at-home orders, which are totally appropriate because we can't get the economy going until the public health system heals, until the emergency has abated. But as we come, as and when we are in the right and when the science dictates, it's time to come out of this crouch. Industries that are more reliant on density and being in person are going to probably have a tougher kind of relaunch. And, so the important partners in casinos and gaming and in entertainment and sports, maybe the players come back, but I'm not sure what the fan picture is going to be. That's going to be tough for the vendors, it's tough for the ticket takers. So we're, the governor's laser focused on making sure we're doing all we can to support those workers and those industries through this challenge. But at the same time, again, as the economy resets in New Jersey and around the region and around the country, there will be industries that are going to be key to this recovery. Life sciences and pharmaceuticals at the very top of that list. There's every company that can is trying to think about a vaccine, trying to think about cures. How do they use their existing products to, come together in some sort of new formulation to address the symptoms of this terrible virus. And there's also things like, technology. Obviously, we're using technology right now to do business very differently than we would have done, just a month or two ago. And you mentioned kids learning remotely. There's a growing field called ed tech, educational technology, which was important before. It's more important now. And so there's going to be opportunity. Again, you hate to use the word opportunities, but there's certainly going to be an increased need for those kinds of things. Transportation and logistics is another one too. New Jersey is the warehouse state. New Jersey has the ability to supply the region through our ports and through our roads and rail network. Those are going to be incredibly important to the extent distance becomes part of our kind of new normal or new abnormal, whatever you want to call it. Transportation logistics are going to be a big part of it.
It's interesting that Tim Sullivan mentions the educational piece of this. I want you to check out one of the other interviews we did remotely with Joel Bloom, Dr. Joel Bloom, who is the president of New Jersey Institute of Technology. He also talked about, and he's been involved in this innovation initiative. We were doing a series called The Future of Innovation, and the EDA is part of it, Choose New Jersey is part of it, NJIT is part of it. And Dr. Bloom actually talked about the opportunities that exist for an institution like theirs to be helping the healthcare system by being more creative, being more innovative. But the other question I want to ask, and you're actually in the studio a while back with Jose Lozano, who is at Choose New Jersey.
Sure.
And both of you had just come back from a trade mission, and I'm not sure, was it India? Am I wrong about that, Tim?
India, yep.
Here's the question. Trade missions, attracting industry to New Jersey, keeping businesses here, obviously that has changed dramatically because the pandemic, as we tape this on the 8th of April, affecting the entire world. Will there be a place for going around the world and try to attract businesses to come to New Jersey? And if so, what's it going to take to do that?
Yeah, I think as the governor's been saying, we're going to get through this and we'll be stronger than ever when we do. It's probably going to be a bit until it makes sense to hop on planes and be trying to get folks to come here, but that doesn't mean never, because we've been through pandemics before. Obviously, this one is an incredibly challenging one. Nothing like in our lifetime, but the trend of globalization and interconnectedness of economies might change, but it's not going away. And so India is a great example. India is 1 billion people with strong cultural connections to New Jersey. That's going to be a natural trading partner for us. Maybe the nature of that relationship changes a little bit. Maybe some more manufacturing comes back to the U.S. and maybe we export more and it becomes a little more even in both directions. But that doesn't mean there's not going to be huge business opportunities with India and the other places the governor's led missions to, like Germany and Israel, Ireland, lots of other places, because eventually, we will get through this. It feels like we're in the middle of a very, very bad storm right now, when we are, and this is first and foremost a human crisis, but it's also an economic crisis. But things will get back to some new normal, some new equilibrium, and those things will be incredibly important. And Jose and I will do our best to help support the governor wherever he wants to go, and encourage as many people to invest in New Jersey as they can, because we're going to need more investment. This coming out of this crisis is going to require investment, and we're going to need new jobs to replace jobs we've lost here.
And the final point I want to make is, as we thank Tim Sullivan from the Economic Development Authority, New Jersey EDA, for joining us, is that when this program is seen in May and June and maybe even July, that the whole question of social distancing and our being together or not being together is resolved to some extent, but we won't predict that. Tim, I want to thank you for joining us. Continue to stay safe, and we continue to keep this conversation going. Thank you, Tim. Be well.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be with you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, the Russell Berrie Foundation, TD Bank, Rowan University, the Fidelco Group, NJM Insurance Group, New Jersey Sharing Network, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, and by Choose New Jersey. Promotional support provided by Meadowlands Chamber and by New Jersey Globe. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.